Usually in the midsection, when you land a head professional's job, the first call you make is to your wife, and the second call you make is to John Kennedy.
In 1987, I was the Player of the Year in our section. So in my mind, I was a player and I was headed 100% in that direction. And I got a telegram that said, Quaker Ridge is looking for you, call them. I was so far removed from the operation of the pro shop that I kind of panicked. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I called John. I said, John, I'm not ready, don't actually know how to put it together. And he said, why don't you come on out to Cold Spring? And he sat with me for 3 hours and just kind of spelled out how I was going to go about putting this thing together. And he's been my go-to guy ever since.
John really wants to help people, and he's sincere with it. He's very generous with his time, and he's really a selfless individual in wanting others to succeed.
John said, you know what, we need something that we can hand to our golf professionals to give them a chance to take a look at some of the success stories and the best ideas of the best.
It's amazing how much information there is. All aspects of the golf shop, the buying, budgets, just every aspect of the business.
It's a beautiful day here at Westchester Country Club.
Everything is big at Westchester Country Club. 36 holes, nearly 1,000 members, and one man's heart. For John Kennedy, his motivation to help those who serve can be traced to a chance encounter with a Vietnam vet.
Dwayne was a licensed vendor on the streets of Manhattan.
The idea, whoa, golf clubs in Times Square? What's the gimmick?
I was able to give him some golf clubs for sale, and we developed a friendship.
Through the water like this.
The connection between the Westchester Country Club members, myself, and the troops and their families is something that's very deep and very strong.
I was a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. I was in a 3rd Special Forces group. I met with John. He explained to me that it's a tough business to get into, and he said, send me your resume. So I sent him my resume. The next day I got a call. I said, come work for me full time.
Through golfers in support of the troops, upwards of 15,000 pieces of clothing have made their way to soldiers and their families.
A lot of times the troops' family feel like they're kind of left out. We've gotten letters from privates' wives in Kentucky, and the private's away for 18 months and she gets a $100 golf sweater. And when her husband hears that and he's out in the field, it just feels like his wife and children are being cared for. Last year we raised enough funds that we could fund 2 separate scholarships for children of one of the men who had given their lives in Afghanistan.
It's not just an idea on paper for John. It never has been. He cares deeply about people, and I think that manifests in what we've seen him do for people who are close to the troops who didn't come home.
And now, John is continuing the work of fellow Patriot Award winner Jim Estes by welcoming and instructing disabled veterans.
That's the one thing Jim has taught me. He said, John, the great thing about golf is that it could be their first step back to feeling good about themselves. And your practice swing you do just like the golf swing. Slow press, hinge, face the target.
I never thought I could play golf. Now that I've got this support group, I'm finding that I can get out there and hit the ball.
Okay, so that time the thumbs came up and the ball went down. You take your 2 thumbs and push down to the ball.
Push down.
Thumbs to the ball.
They're emotionally in a good place. You hear laughter, you hear congratulations for each other's shots.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to laugh again. It really is.
Oh, Lloyd.
Yeah?
Yeah, baby.
I'm hooked.
I got the Patriot Award, but be able to spend time with you is really more of an honor than any honor I'll get. So thank you for everything you've done. There are people who are working in delis that are patriots. It's just that spirit of caring about the fellow American.